Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Continuing with the trigonometric identities, we are in the last part of trigonometry to solve certain problems where LHS and RHS problems are to be equated and solved. For that we have got certain identities proved in the last class. We had three of the identities: sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. Or 1 plus tan square theta is equal to secant square theta, and 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosecant square theta. For those manipulations I had told you earlier, as it is, I have written it up, as well as you require these reciprocal ratios also. All these reciprocal ratios I have written, 5 of those and 3 of the identities. Based on that, we'll do certain problems. We'll start from the lowest level problems, go up to the maximum level of the problems. Most of these problems are going to be 3 marks problem. Some of the problems will be taken up with LHS and prove it to RHS, or some problems will have to take up RHS and then prove it to LHS. And some of the problems will be that you take up LHS, solve to a certain level, and then take RHS and certain level to be solved, and then you are going to equate both LHS and RHS. So these are the problems which requires a lot of experience. Work out more and more the problems which you get, then only you will try to understand the problem. But basically it is going to be regarding these 3 identities. I will take up one by one problem. We will prove some of the problems. I have taken up first of this problem, where I will have to prove that cos square theta plus 1 by 1 plus cot square theta, I have to prove it as equal to 1. Now we will take up the LHS part. LHS has got this cos square theta as it is, plus 1 by 1 plus cot square theta. Now according to identities, 1 plus cot square theta is going to be equal to cosecant square theta. So 1 by cosecant square theta it is going to be. Now further, no changes in this, cos square theta as it is. Now it comes to the reciprocal ratio. Now 1 by cosec theta is going to be equal to sin theta, or sin theta is equal to 1 by cosec theta. Now if you look into this, 1 by cosec is going to be equal to sin theta. So it has got that square. 1 by cosecant square can be written as sin square theta is equal to, next step comes to the first identity, sin square theta plus cos square theta value is going to be equal to 1. This is RHS. Therefore, LHS is equal to RHS. Okay, simplest of the problem. So we have taken up the LHS part and proved it to the RHS. We'll go into the next problem, second problem. Okay, into the second problem. Now, most of them are interesting problems because you can see here LHS says cosecant square theta plus secant square theta. You have to prove it as cosecant square theta into secant square theta. That means you have to prove it into the product form it is going to be. So addition sign has converted into product form. I will take up LHS here. Now cosecant square theta can also be written as equal to sin theta, because 1 by cosec is going to be sin. So cosecant square theta can be written as 1 by sin square theta plus secant square. Cos theta is equal to 1 by secant theta, or secant theta is equal to 1 by cos theta. So secant square theta can be written as 1 by cos square theta. Now further, we take up LCM here. LCM is going to be of the denominator. Denominator LCM is sin square theta into cos square theta. Now I take this LCM and multiply it to the first term. Sin square theta gets cancelled. Cos square theta into 1 is going to be equal to cos square theta. Plus the same way, this part is taken and multiplied here. So cos square theta gets cancelled. Sin square theta into 1 is going to be equal to sin square theta. Now numerator comes to the first identity. Sin square theta plus cos square theta value is going to be equal to 1. So cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. 1 by sin square theta into cos square theta. So it is product. It can be split as 1 by sin square theta into 1 by cos square theta. Now further, if you look into it, as I said, if you cross multiply this, cosec theta is going to be 1 by sin theta. So 1 by sine square theta can be written as cosecant square theta, reciprocal ratios, into 1 by cos square theta. According to that, cross multiply, it is going to be secant square theta. So this is what I require in the RHS part. Therefore, LHS equal to RHS. Quite interesting problems. So you can see that sum is converted into product form. Okay, coming into the third problem. It says 1 by 1 plus sine theta plus 1 by 1 minus sine theta. You have to prove it as equal to 2 secant square theta. Now, LHS will take it as LCM. LCM is going to be whole of this, what is there in the denominator. LCM is going to be 1 plus sine theta into 1 minus sine theta. Now what happens when you take LCM? You take these two terms and multiply to the first one. That means this whole of this 1 plus sine theta gets cancelled. 1 minus sine theta into 1 is going to be 1 minus sine theta. Then you have got plus sine. Then again these two terms are multiplied to this. So 1 minus sine theta gets cancelled. 1 into 1 plus sine theta is going to be the same thing. That will be 1 plus sine theta. Now in this numerator you can cancel minus sine theta and plus sine theta. So 1 plus 1 is going to be equal to 2 divided by, denominator is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. A plus b into a minus b is going to be a square minus b square. That means 1 square is going to be 1 only. So as it is 2 divided by 1 square is 1 only, it comes to this form. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta, or cos square theta is going to be equal to 1 minus sin square theta. The changes which you did from the first identity. So here I have got it as 1 square is 1, 1 minus sin square theta. 1 minus sin square theta is going to be equal to cos square theta. So in place of this, according to the identity, I write it as cos square theta. Further, I can split it as product, or directly can go to that answer, 2 into 1 by cos square theta. So that is 2 into 1 by cos square. 1 by cos is going to be cross multiplied here, that is going to be sec theta. So it has got a square, so 2 secant square theta. And this will be the RHS. Therefore, LH is equal to RHS. Only thing you have to know the manipulations of the identities, how you are going to simplify, as well as the reciprocals also. Okay, look into the next problem. LHS says 1 plus cot square theta into 1 minus cos theta into 1 plus cos theta. You have to prove it as equal to 1. Now, this part is also according to the identities. I'll keep it as it is. LHS 1 plus cot square theta. Now, these two is according to the algebraical identity. That means it is in the form of a minus b into a plus b. That is going to be a square minus b square. A square is going to be 1 square. 1 square is 1 only. B square is going to be equal to cos square theta. So 1 minus cos square theta. Now go to the identity. We have got 1 plus cot square theta, which is equal to cosecant square theta. So in place of 1 plus cot square theta, I can write it as cosecant square theta into 1 minus cos square theta. 1 minus cos square theta is going to be sin square theta. Now, both of them together, we have got, it is square there. So I can write it as cosec theta into sin theta whole square, because both of them have got that square. Cosec theta into sin theta according to the reciprocal ratio. Sin theta into cosec theta value is going to be equal to 1. So here I'll write it as 1, and I've got a square there. 1 square is going to be equal to 1. Therefore, this is going to be RHS. So therefore, LHS is going to be equal to RHS. It is good. Next problem. It says sin theta divided by 1 minus cos theta. You have to prove it as cosec theta plus cot theta. You'll have to prove it. I'll take up the LHS. Now, when you take the LHS, the problem doesn't continue over here, because sin theta at the most you can write it as 1 by cosec theta, and 1 minus cos theta, you don't have anything else to be written over there in this particular identity. What I do in such situations, to continue the problems, we rationalize the denominator. Now, rationalizing factor is going to be the conjugate of it. That means whenever the minus sign is there, it is going to be changed into plus. So, multiply and divide by 1 plus cos theta, both numerator and denominator. So when I multiply the numerator, it is going to be sin theta into 1 plus cos theta. Now denominator, as we saw in the last problem, it is in the form of a minus b into a plus b, that is a square minus b square. A square is 1 square is 1 minus cos square theta. So to continue, don't have anything in the numerator to change. Sin theta into 1 plus cos theta. Denominator 1 minus cos square theta, according to identity, it is going to be equal to sin square theta according to first identity. So denominator, I can write it as sin square theta. Remember, you have to get cosec theta plus cot theta. Now further what I do, I have got these two, one of them will get cancelled. That means I am left with 1 by sin theta into 1 plus cos theta. Now further, 1 by sin, that means the sin theta is divided to both of them. So multiply both of them, that means it is 1 by sin theta plus, when you multiply back to this, it is going to be cos theta divided by sin theta. So this 1 by sin theta is multiplied for both of them. So 1 by sin, according to the first reciprocal, is going to be equal to, cross multiply that, that means it is going to be cosec theta. 1 by sin theta is going to be cosec theta, and also cos theta divided by sin theta is going to be cot theta. That is tan and cot in terms of sin. Tan theta is equal to sin theta divided by cos theta, and cot theta is equal to cos by sin. So cos theta by sin theta is going to be equal to cot theta. That is going to be RHS. Therefore, LHS is equal to RHS. Okay, we'll take up some more other problems in my next video. Thank you. Share and subscribe to improve the channel. See you till the next video.